So Chloe's joke reminded me of a true story in my life. My brother was working at a university in Halifax, and he went around taking pictures of all the different departments. He came home for dinner and he said, strange thing today, I was in the lab, the biology lab, and they're doing research on lobsters. And what they're poking out the eyes of the lobster, and they throw them back in the tank, and they grow to be a pound and a half in less than a year. And so this is a new technology. So I put this in the back of my mind. I'm thinking, okay, nothing of this, right? So 20 years later, I'm in Prince Edward Island, and I'm starting a photography class. And like everyone, we introduce each other. I didn't ask them what they had for lunch. And they said, so Karen, what do you do? She says, oh, I'm a marine biologist. Oh, that's interesting. Where do you work? I work at the lobster farm. So just jokingly, I said, so what do you do? Poke the eyes out of the lobsters? And she said, yeah, that's my job. I said, what? She said, yeah, I take a 6-week-old lobster, baby lobster, and I put them under a microscope, take a sterilized pin, and I poke the 2 eyes out, and we throw them back in, and they grow. So, your life, sometimes you never know. These little strange things you pick up, they come back at you. So, my topic today is mentors, writing, and producing a book. How many of you like writing? Oh, that's what I thought. Well, there is something about writing, Writing has been said, they say writing is easy. You just open a vein and bleed. That's from a writer. He said that's the easiest way to learn how to write. And I guess it was hard for him to write, so he didn't like writing. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about background about part of my Toastmastering experience. Back in 1998, I decided I was going to write a real book. And so I spent about 6 months writing, because they say write 2 hours a day, and you'll kind of get inspired, and I didn't get inspired. So I said, I need a mentor. So I looked online, and I found this lady, Diana Boer, and she had written 20 books in 10 years. So I said, there's someone who's done it. I want to find out how she did it. So I'm thinking about this and thinking about this. How can I contact her? Right? So, I'm in Hong Kong. Does anybody ever, oh, you guys are too young. You don't remember floppy diskettes, right? No. Little plastic things, you put them in your shirt pocket, you put data on them, You know, yeah. Don't tell us your age, it's okay. So I go into this software store, and they're selling a copy of her software, 1,000 business letters, Diana Boer. And I said, that's the catch. So I buy the diskette, I got her mailing address, I mail her a letter, and I said, Diana, I found this in Hong Kong, I thought you might be interested. This is fake software with your material. And by the way, can you tell me what your writing process is? So I think I won't hear from her, 3 weeks later, I get this big, thick letter. It's like a 10-page letter, handwritten from Diana. And she says, here's what you do. Here's what I do. She says, I lock myself in a hotel room for 2 weeks, and I don't see my family. And I write a chapter a day for 12 days. Look at my books. All my books have 12 chapters. That's why. And then I spend 2 days doing the rough editing and draft, and then I send it to an editor. And I do that twice a year. And I've been doing that for 10 years. So my recommendation is don't mess around with 2 hours a day or, half an hour for 6 years. She said, just bite the bullet and write the thing in 2 weeks. So I said, well, if she's done it, that's what I'm going to do. So I actually did that. I finished in 10 days. So this is the book I finished in 10 days, and I can show you that a little later. But second part of the story is even more interesting. Second part of the story is, how do you publicize a book? So again, like Tony Robbins says, success leaves marks, right? There's always someone who's done it, find out how they did it. So Harvey Mackay, have you ever heard of Harvey Mackay? Best-selling business writer ever. He's sold 60 million books. All his books have become million sellers, and he promoted them all himself by doing book tours. So I said, I'm going to call Harvey Mackay. And I have reason to call Harvey Mackay. The guy's a Toastmaster. In his book, he even says, join Toastmasters. And if you don't like it, You can send me your receipt, I will give you a refund. He says that in his book. So I said, I'll just call him on the phone. I picked up the phone, called Harvey, the secretary picked up. I said, I'd like to speak to Mr. McKay. And they said, what's it about? I said, it's about book publishing. Oh, just a minute. She put me right through, and then he said, hi, Harvey. And I said, hi, I read all your books, and and blah, blah, blah. And I know you're a Toastmaster, and I'm a Toastmaster. And I said, can you tell me how you publicize a book? He says, no problem, no problem. I'll send you a package of stuff. And if you don't know his story, he bought a bankrupt envelope company when he was 25, turned it into a multi-million-dollar business. He's now 74. When I called him, he was like in his 60s. And so he said, I'll send you a package of stuff, using an envelope, of course. And a week later, I get this big envelope, this big, with 3 books, newspaper articles, and a handwritten letter telling me all the details how to publicize a book. And the note has his personal number, and he says, if you have any question, you can call me, and I will answer it for you. So I'm thinking, how can I get on the radio? How can I get on a radio station? You ever wondered? How do you get on a radio station? So I said, well, he said, call him if I have a question. So I called him on the phone, direct line. He picked it up. Hi, it's Harvey. Oh, hi. Oh, yeah, you got my package? Yeah. Harvey, I want to get on the radio station. I want to get on the talk show. How do I do it? You got your new book ready? I said, I got my new book ready. He said, okay, get your pen and paper. So I'm like, okay, pen and paper. He says, you only say 2 things. 2 sentences will do it. I said, okay, I'm writing. He said, my new book, 3D presentation system, is finished. When can I be on your show? I said, that's it? He said, that's it. You don't say you don't give anything else. You don't give me any chit chat. You get on the line, you say these 2 things, and then you shut up. I said, that's it. He said, yeah, that's it. So I said, thank you, Harvey. Now, the key to a good mentor is you listen to him. So half an hour later, I got on the phone, memorized the script, said the 2 questions, and the guy said, I have an opening on Tuesday and Thursday. Which one do you want to come? And I said, Tuesday? Okay, our studio is in Admiralty. My secretary will give you the address. Thank you very much. And he put me on to the secretary, and I got the address, and I got the interview. So always pays to get a mentor. And if you're looking for a mentor, get the best. Don't worry that they won't, reply, or they may hang up on you. They generally won't. Most people are really nice, and many people are really generous. And the more famous they are, the more accessible they are. So it's surprising. So if you need a mentor, I suggest find the best and contact them.